Welcome to Deals on Wheels, the car show that puts a smile on your face without emptying your pockets.
And in true Deals on Wheels tradition, we're going to be giving you sound advice on the wonderful world of second-hand car dealing, and we'll be watching you do some deals of your own. So, what's on the show this week, Mike?
In the programme, Richard will be swanning around in a swanky Triumph Stag. We'll be on the trail of France's most complicated export, the Citroën BX, and check out to see if I can offload my hot Volkswagen VR6. But to kick off the show, we got this rather tasty little feline. Word on the street is the best thing to come out of last year motoring-wise was Ford's wonderful little Puma. With its race car handling and snappy gear change, the motoring press fell all over it and gave it their highest accolades. And so they should, because I'm enjoying every minute of this. Unlike Jeff Bailey. Like the Puma, Jeff has sprinted his way to the top of his business tree. But he finds this little car just isn't big enough to carry him and his fat cat pals around.
I'm Jeff, and I'm selling this gorgeous Puma for £14,500. And I reckon it's a bargain, but let's see what happens. I think the Puma is very much like a fitness instructor. You know, they've got their running shoes on, skin-tight pants, not an ounce of fat. I wouldn't say it encourages sedate driving, but then again that defeats the object, doesn't it? What's my reason for selling this Puma? Well, basically, I need a bit more room. Getting 4 burly businessmen in this is a bit of a joke, really. I think I've had in the order of 63 cars since I started driving. I have a Ferrari 348 and I have a Rolls Royce. You can see by the sort of cars I buy that I'm a go-for-it merchant. If I could describe myself as a car, I'd probably say that I'd be a Jaguar XKR. You know, the supercharged 370 horsepower sports car. Because that's what I feel like. I feel supercharged.
Now, I'm a big fan of these little cars, even if they are based largely on the humble Ford Fiesta. They're also one of the most modern cars we've featured on Deals on Wheels, so there's no point in spending lots of time looking for rust. But it is a good idea to do your HPI check and to check for any accident damage. And one other thought, whenever you see one of these advertised in the colour you want, then snap it up, because demand far outstrips supply.
If you're chasing a 1.7 Puma, the chances are these big guys are going to be pretty chewed up, and it's really easy to check for tyre wear. Just rub your hands around the wall of the tyre and feel for any bumps. And take a 10p coin, and you see the little ridge around the outside? Well, that should fall within the tyre tread. If it doesn't, you'll be forking out for new tyres, and they cost £80 a corner.
Well, I think Jeff is onto a winner with this. The car's absolutely the right colour, it's got all the bits, it's in really good condition. It's got to be worth £14,000.
No, Richard, I think he's a bit strapped for cash, and that Ferrari's burning a big hole in his pocket. I bet you he only gets £13,750. Let's see how he gets on.
I've taken a call on the car, and there's someone coming to have a look at it today. I've had a couple of tyre kickers who are absolute total waste of time. But this guy sounds serious.
Hiya, I'm Pete. I'm come to see Jeff's Puma today. I'm going to buy it for my wife. Hopefully I can get it for a reasonable price. I think I'll probably start around and offer him, he's asking 14.5, I'll probably start around 13.5.
I'm not going to take any less than 14 for it, because it's a good seller and I'm going to play hardball. Pete Smith?
Hello, how are you?
Not bad.
Pleased to meet you.
Right, a horrible day.
Thank you very much. I've got a bigger one than this in the car. So why are you getting rid of it?
Well, I've got this, and I've got a Ferrari, which I'm also getting rid of. Really, I don't need all these cars.
I can't sell you a TVR, can I?
The trouble is, you probably could.
I'll take it for a blast up the road.
Yeah, sure. I'll drive, and then we'll swap over, and
yeah, sure.
You're insured on it as any driver.
Okay.
You do have a licence, though.
So have you ever actually carried sort of 4 adults in it? Yeah, presumably you've got to push the seat fairly well forward. Or...
Yeah, I think they all came from Lilliput.
Jeff wants £14,500. Let's see how he does.
Change of underwear time. Well, I'd be prepared to offer you 13.5 cash for it today.
Well, cash is the same as a cheque to me. No, £1,000 drop is far too...
Everybody asks more than they actually want for it. What would be your sort of...
Well, the thing is, I've tried to price it as keenly as possible, mainly because I didn't want the thing to take root and just sit here asking silly money.
Right.
So 14.5 is basically, as far as I can see, midway between trade and retail. But I just can't take 13.5. I mean, quite frankly, the minimum I take is 14.
Right.
I can't afford to take this.
13,750.
No, can't do it. Can't do it, Pete. Can't do it.
Well, I could get hung if I don't come back with it. I don't want to give in too easily. What about 13.9?
For £100, I'm not going to lose a deal for £100. Okay. Well, I feel pretty good. I've done a deal. I wasn't going to lose it for £100, so getting 13.9 instead of 14, yeah, I'm pretty cool about that.
Bingo! I almost got it right. Interesting point though, it was raining. And how many times have I got to tell you, don't buy a car in the rain. If you have to, take a lever along. That way you can wipe away the water and see any of the nasty marks underneath.
Now for one of my all-time favourite cars and a very underrated one. It's fast, it's stylish, it's the Triumph Stag. Triumph Stags have a special place in the hearts of patriotic car enthusiasts. 30-somethings like me will remember it as the car they wish their dad had have picked them up from school in. And those a bit older will remember it as a car that perhaps they couldn't afford at the time, but that was so damn classy. In fact, Triumph were the BMW of the 70s, and the Stag was its flagship. 4-seater and 2+2-seater convertibles were very rare things in the 1970s, and the Stag was brilliantly marketed as a kind of Mercedes SL, but cheaper. But the Stag was also more macho than the Mercedes, with its Italian styling and its wonderful V8 engine that made the most terrific noise, especially when you put your foot down. Although the V8 turned out to be the Achilles heel of the Stag, largely because Leyland, who owned Triumph, just didn't develop it properly, it did give the car good performance. 0 to 60 in 9.7 seconds and a top speed of 116 miles an hour gives the Stag more than enough performance to be used in modern traffic. Now, as regular Deals on Wheels viewers know, body rust and chassis corrosion is the big headache for classic car buyers. Well, for once, this isn't the case with the Triumph Stag. This body is very well made, it's very thick, and unless the car's very cheap, rust really shouldn't be a problem. The reason most Triumph Stag engines have played up in the past is because they've overheated. And the reason they overheat is because they build up sludge inside them. Now, you don't want your Stag to suffer from overheating problems, so take it for a very good test drive and watch that temperature gauge like a hawk. Try and get stuck in some traffic. If it gets into the red, leave the car well alone, because the chances are the damage has already been done. So what to pay? Well, Mark I Stags are cheapest, but I wouldn't spend less than £3,500 on one of these because it's just not worth it. This example, it's already going a bit rusty, the colours don't match, it's a bit of an edgy car, but I think it's worth just that, about £3,500. Now, Mark IIs are worth a bit more, but this car is an automatic version which brings the price down again. Having said that, its condition is better than the Mark Is. All things considered, I think it's worth £3,900. Now, if you want a really good Triumph Stag, you're going to have to pay more than that. This is a very well restored Mark II car, manual overdrive gearbox. It's worth £10,000. And that's as much as you need pay for a superb example of Triumph's last great model. And just in case you think £10,000 is a lot of money, just think what you can do with this car. Imagine taking it abroad on holiday, touring Italy, the Italian mountains with the kids in the back. Wonderful! And I challenge anyone to think of another classic car that can provide that for anything like the money.
Do you know what, Rich? I think I can almost remember one of these. Very Simon Templar.
Actually, Mike, that was a Volvo. Join us after the break for a Golf VR6.
And we'll be meeting Graham McNulty, who's trying to flog a very tired-looking Citroen BX.
See you then.